Hi guys, how's it going? So I've scripted this video 3 times in the past few days, and I'm actually going to mostly ignore it, I think. I started this channel because I'm a keen PC gamer and hardware enthusiast. Over the past couple of decades, I've seen this industry go from strength to strength. Still recently anyway. Started to lose direction in some pretty major ways. And not all my videos are going to be like this, but there are some things we need to talk about. And well, they're just not right now. So I'm going to start with an easy one, and that's that i9s, and really all high-end CPUs, just aren't gaming hardware. Top-end CPUs used to be, but they really don't serve much purpose anymore. And while I understand manufacturers trying to push them as such, to make money, I don't understand why the so-called tech press entertains this idea. I'm not saying high-end CPUs don't have their uses, but I'm saying that for the vast majority of people whose main use for a PC is gaming, they get very little, if any, benefit from a CPU above, let's say, an i5 or Ryzen 5. And those are the ones we really should be talking about when we're looking at gaming CPUs. So let me prove my point for a minute. Okay, so we're going to start off with Tom's hardware, and with Borderlands 3 1080p Ultra. As you can see, we have the 11900K right at the top at 165 FPS, and right below it, the i5 11600K at 165. So what this is showing is that there is basically no benefit to an i9 over the i5. In fact, all of the CPUs on this chart are all delivering pretty much identical performance. And if you've got a 144Hz monitor, well, all of them are above 144Hz on average and below it on 99th percentile. So you would gain absolutely nothing from the more expensive ones over the cheaper ones on here. Anyway, next up, we have Total War 3 Kingdoms, this time at 1440p, and I play a lot of Total War games. Don't actually play 3 Kingdoms, but they're all more or less the same, and they're all fine as long as you're above 60 FPS. So therefore, all of the CPUs on this chart are delivering acceptable gaming performance, and the i5 technically wins here. Now, it's only a couple of frames per second higher on the minimum, the same on the average, but it is proving quite clearly that you're getting zero advantage from the i9. Next, we'll go over to AnandTech, who for some reason have decided to do a 4K benchmark using Deus Ex Mankind Divided, but thank them very much for it, because it kind of proves my point quite nicely, that all of the CPUs on this chart are all delivering pretty much the same performance at this test. And in fact, the 10600K, $262, is delivering 182 FPS, and it outperforms all of the 11 series for some reason, but particularly the i9 900K, which is twice the price. And in case you might think I've been cherry picking my results to favour my hypotheses, we'll have a look at TechSpot's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And in this, I've deliberately found one where the 11900K offers some form of advantage over the 11600K. It's actually 14% advantage for a CPU that costs twice as much. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And again, if you've got a 144Hz monitor, well, both of them are above 144 on average and below on the minimum. So they are in the same performance category. And the advantage of the i9 is, I don't know. What is the advantage of the i9 as a gaming CPU, bearing in mind they are always in the same performance category? Okay, so I think I've proved my point that the 11900K provides absolutely zero benefit for gaming purposes over an 11600K, which is quite a bit cheaper. But if we think about it, it's worse than that, because the 11600K is actually more of an enthusiast chip, the K meaning that it is overclockable. And the majority of gamers don't actually have much of an interest in overclocking, or at least the majority of PC gamers I know don't actually overclock. Hardware enthusiasts are interested in overclocking, gamers less so, or not at all. So actually, a non-K SKU would make more sense, and also, if you're a gamer, you probably don't want the integrated graphics on these chips because it's just paying for something that you're never going to use. So, something like the 11400F actually makes a lot more sense. And if we look at the price, the UK prices, because that's where I am, you could buy an 11400F and a motherboard. Yes, that one's out of stock, but stock is an issue at the moment. Less money than the 11600K, and the performance you'll get is basically the same. Might be a tiny bit less, but you are saving quite a lot of money compared to the 11900K or the 10900K, or in fact any i9 or i7. You've saved pretty much enough money to buy another one in a couple of years' time, which means that you are kind of future-proofing by buying cheaper products. Or the other thing you could do with the saving is you could buy yourself a GPU. Well, assuming you can find one in stock, of course. Now, I think I'm going to stop right there and do this in bite-sized chunks because I could go on, but I think I've made my point. And I want to know what you guys think. So please leave a comment, ask me a question, I'll answer it if I can. And if you think this might be useful to someone who's just looking to get the most out of their hobby, then liking this video, subscribing, or possibly even sharing it would help me out loads. Still feel a bit funny asking people for that, but it genuinely would help a lot. But, I'm just happy that you made it to the end of the video, so thank you very much, and catch you later, guys.